Alright everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's Columbus Picker here. And today I've got another What's Sold video for you. I've got 15 items that sold recently coming out of my eBay store. As always, if you like these type of videos, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. If you haven't already, hit the notification bell so that you know whenever I post videos like this to YouTube. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. As always, I'm going to give you the description of the item that I purchased, how much I paid for it, how much the buyer is all in, that would include shipping and everything, and then where I picked the item up at. So let's go ahead and kick it off with this Seiko compact quartz metronome with adjustable stand. This was a really unique item. I happened to find this at the Goodwill Bins. I had 47 cents invested in it, and the buyer was all in for $23.51. Next up, I have this Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. It was a video game for the PlayStation 2. It did include the manual, which did make it a bit more valuable. I had $3.90 for it at a local thrift store, and the buyer was all in for $74.31. Sticking with the video game theme, next up I have this PlayStation 2. It's a Disney's Extreme Skate Adventures. Found that at the same thrift store. Paid $3.90 for it as well, and buyer paid $35.19. Alright, next up I have this Regal La Machine, model number V813. It was parts for this particular food processor, so what I ended up selling was the bowl, the lid, and the pusher that went with the lid. I had $1.75 invested into it. I picked them up at the Goodwill Bins, and they sold for $29. It's one of those things where anytime I can find different parts like this that somebody may have a need for at the Goodwill Bins, you're paying by the pound, so you're not paying all that much. Take a $1.75 and turn it into $29. Definitely a decent flip there. Next up, I have this Breville juice fountain. It's a cold plus juicer. It was new in the box. I picked this up at a yard sale. I did pay up for it. Paid $50, but I did know, based on sold comparables, that I would be able to get a decent amount of money for that. And it actually sold for $287.33. So I was definitely happy with that one. Next up, I have this pair of vintage Levi's 560 Comfort loose fit tapered leg denim jeans. They were men's size 34-36. I paid $7.90 for them. I picked them up at the Goodwill, and the buyer was all in for $32.20. Next up, I have this textbook. It's a Nurse Practitioner Certification Exam Prep by Margaret A. Fitzgerald. I paid $3 for it, and buyer paid $49.08. Next up, I have this vintage Hamilton Beach. It's a 12-cup electric percolator, model number 40616. It was stainless steel. I paid $4 for it. Picked it up at a local rummage sale, and buyer paid $43.23. Next up, I have this, it's a RF 7.5 Real Flight. It's a upgrade to the original, I guess. It's a flight simulator. I picked it up at the Goodwill Bins for 30 cents, and it sold on eBay for $42.26. Next up, number 10, I have the REESE Tow Power Proportional Brake EVN. It's a tow control safety system. I paid $4 for this item. It sold for $76. I actually found 3 of these at a local sale that I went to. And so I had $12 invested in all 3. And the buyers, went to 3 separate buyers. They were all in for $228 total. So definitely a good find there. Next up, I have this 1998 Pioneer. It's model number CTW404R, double cassette deck. I paid $10 for it. I found it at the Goodwill, and it sold for $102.61. Next item up is going to be this Sega Genesis. It's a one of those built-in games that had 80 games included in it. It was $5 is what I paid for it at a local sale, and it sold for $78.97. So I was definitely happy with that one. So up next, number 13 is going to be this DeWalt. It's a 13 amp paddle switch angle grinder. It was a new item, but open box. So if it had been brand new, the box hadn't been damaged, I probably could have gotten a little more for it. But as it stands, I sold it for 167.43, and I paid $25 for it at a local sale. So not a bad flip. This next one was kind of cool. I remember having one of these when I was a very young kid. It was a Tudor Electric football game. I paid $3.99 for it. I actually found this at one of the local Goodwills, and buyer was all in for $72.83. And the last item I have for you today is going to be this Reebok CCM Detroit Red Wings Pavel Datsyuk. It's from the 2009 Winter Classic, so it's a hockey jersey. Very cool find. I found this at the local thrift shop. I did pay up for it, paid $40, but I did some research on the sold comparables in the store and knew that I definitely would have a very unique item. I'd probably be one of only one or two people on eBay that currently had that item. So I paid $40 for it, and I was able to sell it for $187.51. So thought that was a pretty decent flip there. So there you have it, folks. There's 15 items that I sold recently on eBay. As always, like I said before, if you like these type of videos, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And remember, thrifting ain't easy, but it beats working a 9-to-5 job. Talk to you guys later. Peace.